Welcome back to Absolutely Marvel at DC. My name is Benny, that is Sal, and that is Dylan, and today we're going to talk about the What If trailer. If it's your first time watching a trailer review with us right here at the Absolutely Marvel at DC channel, first, go down below and hit that subscribe button because, you know, we do a lot of these kinds of things, and me and Sal and Dylan, we're kind of comic book experts. We run channels called Comic Story and Comic Pop. It's kind of a thing we do. This is a fun channel we do on the side with all of our bestest buds. We don't have a lot of friends, it's the three of us. Anyway.
And Dan. He's just not here right now.
All right, so let's go ahead and go look at this terrible, terrible trailer. Before I go beat for beat through this trailer, if we start trying to figure out what ifs these are, let's start off and talk about the animation. Now, as a fan of everything from Pixar to anime to, I love animation. I'm an animation guy. Before all of this, way back like 20 years ago now, I was an art major, so I love animation. I hate this CG rendered, like super shaded style that doesn't even get used that often because I don't think a lot of people like it.
No, it's.
What did you say it earlier, Dylan, before we started? What'd you call it?
Well, at first I said it looked like a bad video game. And then I said it, and this is what I thought from the screenshots I saw before I watched the trailer. And I don't normally watch trailers. I made a whole video about why. And the reason was because I saw the screenshots on Twitter and I was like, there's no way. Please, I don't want it to look like this. Because it looks like Ruby. Like, it looks like, and I personally, I don't like Ruby. I don't like the art style. I think most of the animation is bad.
I like the plot, but yeah, I don't like the art style.
And I don't know why they went with this art style. At least from what I can see in the trailer, the animation looks nice. It looks polished, which is, you know, something I can't say for Ruby.
Or most Disney animated movies now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're all going downhill too.
It's strange.
Disney animated shows.
And I'm assuming like most of their budget went into cleaning up the animation and voice actors, because a lot of, I believe, the actual cast is reprising their roles.
Some of them, yeah.
Any reason why Tony Stark is not being reprised by Robert Jr.? I didn't even catch that until you said it.
It was just
they got to pay him $1 billion. Like,
right? Yeah.
And they don't. I don't think they. I also think like the reason that this is animated and it's animated in this way is I don't think they want to put a lot of money on this. No. I think it's just like a fun thing that they're doing just to further reinforce the fact that Phase 4 is multiverse.
Yeah.
And
to go huge with it without spending a lot.
Yeah, without spending a lot and without messing up Feige's grand canon plan. So it's, I don't know. I wish it didn't look like this. But hopefully the animation and the writing will save it.
I'm so thankful it doesn't look like any Marvel show made by Disney.
Yes. I will say that. I did look it up real quick, and yes, there's no confirmed, but the prevailing theory is the reason why Robert Downey Jr. is not reprising his role is he is officially done with the MCU, so it would cost a stupid amount of money because he's not under any contracts to come back and do it.
Right.
So, which I guess makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Well, I think, I mean, like, they recorded this probably, like, while they were making Endgame.
Right.
They're like, hey, by the way, between lunch breaks, would you mind recording these lines really quick?
Could you picture that? Like, we've been to conventions before. It's set up like a convention. Like, they're at the cafeteria for the little catered area. All the actors are there. And there's just like a booth off to the side. Yeah. And it's like, what if recording booth? And you just got a guy with excuse me, Mr. Hemsworth, it's your turn. Do you have 10 minutes? Could you fill out a survey when you're done?
Yeah.
I would love if it was just like a confessional that people could just go into, and they just go in character and just spout nonsense, and then they turn those into episodes.
There you go.
That I would watch.
That'd be an
all the unused clips.
Right.
So, all right. Well, that's the general idea of this trailer. Let's go ahead and get into the actual trailer. Which of my open tabs is it? Okay, here we go. So. This is obviously intentional. The trailer opens up with basically redoing the opening of Iron Man 1. Basically showing you like, oh, this is a new beginning. This looks like the old one, doesn't it? You know, like you think you know what's going to happen. I don't know this What If universe. Some of these I recognize. This one I don't know. Killmonger saves Tony?
Yes.
That's new as far as I know. I don't think a lot of this is going to be random comic book polls, because I mean we see later like Marvel Zombies and stuff, Agent Carter.
Yes, Captain Carter. Yeah,
Captain Carter. Right.
Yeah, she is a character that was created for a video game, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I have her in my future fight.
I guarantee you there will either be a joke about why she's not called Captain Britain, or they will not say it at all.
They've got to say Captain Britain.
So
I'm okay with it because it's an alternate reality version anyway. So it's like we're setting up Captain Britain, we're
and it's
normalizing
multiverse
it.
stuff.
And
that
it's
would make
multiverse
sense
stuff.
if she was Captain Britain. If Haley Atwell came back as an alternate in live action
God.
for a Captain Britain movie, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm in.
That would be good. I would love to see that.
Anyway.
So we got Tony Stark walking off a Killmonger. We got the Marvel Studios logo. Then we jump to, and this is when I first kind of realized I'm not a fan of the animation choice they went with. Doctor Strange turns back into his normal Stephen Strange outfit, right?
Yep.
With rosy red Pixar Disney cheeks.
I know.
And I was like, why?
He looks more like Reed Richards than he does Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
What if that is Reed Richards? What if that is
No,
the ultimate?
we're not.
Oh my God!
No.
It's
What
Mephisto.
if?
We can't start again.
Yeah, we're not doing that right now.
Once again, to show the next scene in here is once again to show you the subversion of what you think you knew happened changes. It cuts from the Avengers to the Guardians, but what I find weird about this cut to the Guardians is they're obviously not in New York.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, this is the new, I don't know, would-be Avengers. It's interesting. You got Black Panther, Killmonger, Gamora wielding Thanos' armor, T'Challa as Star-Lord, and a Thor. I don't know.
It's got to be the Thor because he talks it a little bit.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean?
They did get Hemsworth.
Yeah,
I
and they got
find it-
Yondu in this T'Challa story, which is really
Yay.
cool. And I'm
I
really
like
happy that they got this film with Chadwick Boseman before it got put out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before before his passing. I'm trying to
Yes.
think of the proper way to say that without, But
Yeah.
yes, I'm glad that this was all completed before, and so it is his last official appearance. Instead of his one movie, he did get a couple of shots, and there's more of him as Black Panther. So
Yeah.
and Star-Lord.
Right?
We then cut to the next scene, which shows a Hulk freaking out, all of the Iron People flying through, and then you got your Haley Carter,
Haley Carter,
Haley Atwell, Sharon Carter.
Chris Rogers. We got Chris Quill.
Yep.
I
Chris
like
Thor.
the little cameo
Chris
of
Thor.
Howard the Duck. That was an interesting decision to go with.
Yeah.
Also, I learned the other day that Howard the Duck is in the Portals scene in Endgame.
Yes, he
For
is.
like 4 frames.
He's got like a gun. I think that was like, and I think somebody got in trouble for that. I think not because of legal, but just because Feige's like, no.
No, I do think they got in trouble, and I do remember hearing about that. At this point, it's just showing various clips. We see the Thor freaking out in Vegas. We see Loki with an army. Vision is talking to someone. Howard the Duck changes his outfit. We have Captain Britain / Captain America riding a giant suit of armor. I'm assuming that's her
Dude.
Iron Man.
That's
I am
Big
the
Guy and
most
Rusty. I love
interested.
this.
I'm so interested in that story and
Yeah.
the T'Challa Star-Lord story. Those are the two that I want to see.
Yeah, I want to see that one and the Marvel Zombies one, just because I want to know how far they go with it.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be. I'm less interested in the zombies, but I am curious how far they're gonna push it because
That's why I'm interested, because it's it's a cartoon.
Right. Well, it's a cartoon. It's a Marvel movie. It's on Disney Plus. I can't believe they did Marvel Zombies. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. The idea here of just seeing the like Star and Stripe, like Stargirl and Stripe, kind of allegory of you see Captain Carter and what's obviously a puny Steve Rogers in a Howard Stark made Iron Man suit. It's
Yeah.
like that's such a great idea. It's so cool.
It looks like Doctor Strange has been stuck in the Dormammu portal ever since he went in there. It didn't work because if you go to 113, Sharon Carter is running into him. Mm-hmm. And he does not look good. He does not.
No, he looks a little tired.
I've been here for so long.
Yeah.
I've come to bargain. God damn it!
Yeah.
We cut to a few more scenes. We see the Watcher. You guys are talking about it is the Watcher, not Beyonder.
Yep.
The Watcher. Big, gigantic. What'd you call him, Dylan? What's baby face Watcher?
Baby bald boy.
Baby bald boy.
Yeah.
That's what I called them in my Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 review, and people on my channel really enjoyed that. So
Nice.
Baby bald boy. We get a Spider-Man. I do notice if you look at this, infinite possibilities, if you go to, there's the motorcycle, there's the zombie, there's the Hawkeye, there's the Thor. Where's the Spider-Man scene? I think I missed it.
Spider-Man's at like 20 something. I can't believe he's a cartoon and he still won't wear his mask. It drives me nuts.
I was going to say, that was one, he's not wearing the mask. Two, he looks like Peter, B. Parker from Spider-Verse.
Yeah, 120.
I just borrowed the model.
Yeah.
Put a different shader on it.
Yep.
Do you think there's any kind of weirdness where like Sony's like, all right, you could use our Spider-Man, but we get to use Tom Holland and Venom?
I don't know.
Yeah.
By the way, I love. Did you see who the Guardians of the Galaxy are? It's friggin' you got Taserface on there.
Oh, is he? Taserface. What a callback.
I know.
Can we go to the head in a jar like Futurama? Scott
yes.
Lang.
I was wondering
the
what that
subtitle
was.
says Scott Lang. It is Scott Lang's head in a jar with vision.
Yeah,
Nice. That checks
so
out.
great. Yeah, I saw Ego in there.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's hard to really talk about this trailer because honestly, it's just a ton of clips.
Yeah,
Like
Right.
there's no substance
like-
to this trailer.
This is how you do a trailer.
Yes,
I
right.
think.
It is.
It's just a bunch of stuff, and you're like, "What's happening?"
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the points that the reason I don't like trailers is because they set up unintended expectations and they show too much. And this
Yeah.
trailer is like it's just montage, which is perfect, I think.
And it's a great. I'm interested in this. I really am against this art style they chose to go with.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's going to be bad. I will say that.
No.
Like
No.
it's hard to gauge off 3-second clips.
Yeah.
And
By the
like I said,
way-
like some of these, like the it looks clean, like it doesn't look rough, the animation, even if the art style isn't the best. So, you know, a show like this can absolutely be saved by good story and good acting.
Yes.
So.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. You got anything else really to add to this discussion, guys? I mean, this trailer doesn't give us enough to really talk about other than how excited we are for portions of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Not the story of what if is. You know, which is, I don't know, everything.
Yeah.
But I will say that it does set up a lot of opportunities, I think. Like, you know, hey, look, a good Killmonger who could fall out of the multiverse and into our reality and now be
Right.
Black Panther.
Do you think, based on What If, based on Loki, based on WandaVision, we're going to start doing that? That death doesn't mean anything because we'll just pull them out of another spot.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, like at the end of this show, how many connections we are going to get with what we know about the multiverse right now, like through the TVA and through stuff set up in Endgame, because like this is the first thing in the MCU, comics that are like pseudo canon, notwithstanding, that is not live action.
Right.
And I'm very curious to know why, other than obvious like money reasons.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me that like I would personally be surprised if they did decide to start pulling characters out of this show and putting them in live action. If it is
Haley
specifically
Atwell.
the ones, well, that's what I'm saying. Like if they pull them directly from the show, I could definitely see them pulling ideas from this show and redoing them in live action. Like, oh, you liked Haley Atwell as alternate universe Captain Britain? Sure, let's do that. But it's not the one from that show. It's
Right.
just we're doing it again, but we're resetting it in live action, so it makes more sense.
I think that would just get very confusing if they started doing that.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like also you run the risk of like having the cohesion that they've the aesthetic cohesion that they've, you know, really built for a while, and that was kind of rough in the start, but it's now like very much like everything in the MCU pretty much looks the same.
Yeah.
Now that's like completely thrown out the window.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't really care because like I don't think any of us would, because we're people who read comic books, and every single comic book looks wildly different than the rest, unless you're reading in like the 90s or the early aughts.
Yes.
Yeah.
But especially nowadays, like, you know, Black Widow and Kelly Thompson's run looks way different than Black Widow in like some other run.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just said we just recorded the video for Black Widow, and I said that at the end of it. Like the other ones are not like this, guys. The Black Widow of this is not what you're going to get back in the day. Very
No.
few characters have kept an appearance, and it's mostly because they're iconic, like Deadpool, Spider-Man, Captain America.
Sure.
Like they just overall get altered.
Action
all the time.
figures.
action figures.
Yeah, I do have a theory about this, and I think because based on just watching it again, I was kind of like looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, because I see some crossover, like we saw Carter talking to Doctor Strange, and it's like they're not just gonna be each episode is like that'd be crazy, but what about this? I think it's gonna be like the Exiles. Where like Watcher assembles a team of people from disassociate realities to solve a problem,
which the MCU loves to do, assemble teams.
Why not?
Dude, come on! Guardians, assemble! I mean,
yeah, I feel like we're gonna get something like that where he puts together like an Exiles team of like your reality shouldn't exist, but you can come with me and I'll let you live a little longer. Kind of like what the TVA did with Loki's and stuff.
Yeah,
I would love it if they even like what they did. You gotta watch that show. Like
that thing you definitely watched 2 months ago.
I would personally prefer if it was each episode was self-contained.
Me too.
But like, and also
I
because
think
like that's what
I don't.
That's
honestly
what
think
if is.
Yeah,
well,
like,
I don't know if you've noticed the trend in television, but anthology series are getting more and more popular ever since Black Mirror's first season. Like, Natalie and I love watching anthology series because I love the idea of investing a great time into an hour-long show that just has a really cool story,
Yeah.
And some of them suck, but I'm hoping this one doesn't.
But I also know, like, Marvel can't resist, like, making this grand plan, which is fair. Like, that's why it works. That's why people love this stuff. But I thought of this. If this is, because what if is always from the perspective of the Watcher, right? Like, it's him recounting tales of stuff that he's watched.
Yes.
Or that his little friends have watched. And what if...
Oh.
You did it.
What if the show looks like this because it's from the perspective of the Watcher, and the end of the show switches to live action, like the end of the final episode switches to live action, and we see like the team that's been assembled. We see the point of this show in the larger MCU.
That'd be kind of cool.
And that's like the everything we see in cartoon is like, this is from the perspective of the Watcher, but now we're gonna no more narrator. This is what's actually happening. Yeah. And here's like Haley Atwell as Captain Britain, and
you just want to see
Killmonger's back.
Captain
but
Britain
I would love that.
Yeah.
I love Haley Atwell.
Yeah, she's great. She's so great.
I want her back.
Yeah, she wouldn't retire. Neither would Captain America, for that matter.
Yeah, but who cares?
No, he would totally ignore everything for 80 years. Just
that is literally that's my MCU hot take. Is Steve Rogers would never quit.
He does it in the comics. He literally does it. He becomes old and he's like, and now I run S.H.I.E.L.D. Like,
well, that's what I was. I don't think he quit. I think him and Peggy ran S.H.I.E.L.D. and there's some branching timeline that we haven't gotten to yet.
Good. I mean, like, that's better, but I can also imagine that this Captain America's like, I mean, I kind of saved everybody. I'm good.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is our hot take on the What If trailer. I hope you guys enjoyed. My name is Benny. That is Sal. That is Dylan. We talk about all your favorite Marvel and DC themed TV shows. We also talk about Star Wars, other shows like Gilmore Girls, Supernatural. All of it happens right here. Stick around. We do. We have before.
We've done it once.
But that's all that I need.
It's part of the family now.
There you go. That's canon.
Nothing is stronger than family. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time right here at Absolutely Marvel at DC.